Fall is a season of gathering that brings us together with warmth and color. So whether it's a birthday, anniversary, or a special event, celebrate your friends and family with a gorgeous bouquet from 1-800-Flowers.com. 1-800-Flowers makes it easy to find your reason and brighten someone's day with exclusive offers and great values on bouquets and arrangements. To order today, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/tune-in. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/tune-in.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. I heard some music there in the background. I think that was my phone playing some classical music. I'm off in the classical thing here. But got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. We ready to do this thing. How you doing, dog?
I'm doing good, Buck. I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? I think that we had a nice, restful weekend. We had a good show yesterday in Dayton. And sometimes when you have that, we have such a great show like that, it really kickstarts you and charges you up for the rest of the week.
Bro, it drains the crap out of me, man. Every time we do a show, man, it drains the crap out of me. But I want to thank Dayton, Texas for hosting Reality of Wrestling just one more time. And it's going to be many more to come. But I want to get something out there, man. You know you made it, man, when people start putting up fake sites trying to make money. Somebody created a fake Reality of Wrestling site for the Dayton show and say we're streaming it live. You know, you can click, you know. So, guys, if it's not coming from the Reality of Wrestling YouTube channel, don't buy into the scammers, man. But it just let us know, man, that we got something good. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. The best thing on the Gulf Coast, Reality of Wrestling, going to be coming to town near you real soon, guys. So stay tuned to your Reality of Wrestling news. If you need to get more Reality of Wrestling news, go to the Row Reporter, Jeremy. He has all the latest.
He's got the scoop. Row Reporter's got the scoop.
What's crazy is the Row Reporter named his damn self.
Hey, you know, Book, you got to get your own stuff in. You got to get your gimmick over.
I'm like, come on, man. You just can't be, you know, creating your own gimmicks and, you know, but I like it. I like it. The Row Reporter, he's been with us for quite some time, doing a lot of good work, getting the word out about Reality of Wrestling. So, guys, we'll be back in Dayton on the 7th of November. So, guys, if you're anywhere in the surrounding area, show up and show out at Reality Wrestling.
Yeah, and you know what? I will say, not only did Dayton get my blood flowing and getting ready for the week, also the thing that was great today was Facebook and Instagram have been down all day. I don't know if you know this, but Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, you couldn't use them all today. Still, as it's going on, you can't use them. And you know how much more productive the world is when you're not scrolling on Instagram all day, you know, looking at, you know, whatever it is people look at on Instagram.
I'm not scrolling on Instagram all day. Okay. I'm not on Facebook looking for any old girlfriends, and they damn sure better not be looking for me. All right. If they don't want no trouble. from the missus.
You don't want to start looking through some old girl's Facebook and be like, oh, look, she's got a kid. Wait, he's got dreads like I do.
No, look here, bro. I don't have any offspring out there that I don't know about. Okay, let's just get that straight. I just don't want any old girlfriends saying, "Yeah, man, I remember Booker T, man, that skinny kid. You know, I didn't give him no attention, and now he's come up, and I want to get with him. You know, I don't need any of that. You know, trying to follow me around, and that's normally what that Facebook will get you in a whole lot of trouble, man. Buddy of mine, Diva and Dudley, I think he got divorced twice. I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. It's jokes.
You know,
jokes.
It can catch up on you. The thing, though, that I don't like, too, is almost to what you said about the Roe Facebook or the Roe fake account going out there, right, is I feel like people, when you get even somewhat known online, they start lying on you like I'm sure you experience this a whole lot more than I ever have.
All the time.
But people are like, oh, yeah, I knew Booker. Booker's my cousin. Oh, that's my uncle. That's my whatever. Oh, yeah, I used to, sell Booker this, that, or the third or whatever, right? People all want to be connected to you. I mean, how many times has that happened to you?
Bro, I know so many people, it ain't funny. And the thing is, I don't know none of them. That's what's crazy. I'm serious, but that's just the way it is, man. But that could be me. That could be me, just old age. I'd have forgot.
You still know who that is. I
just forgot you. You know what I mean? You wasn't that relevant in my life. I haven't seen you in 20 years, and then I see you and you expect for me to remember you. I don't know. Life just don't work that way for me. My son went away for a summer once, and I went to pick him up at the airport and didn't recognize him.
Be like, hey, who are you? I'm waiting on my kid.
I walk right past him. He goes, Dad.
That's a damn shame.
Oh, that's my boy right there.
Did you have the thing though when you became famous or well known, became a celebrity, where all of a sudden people were reaching out to you, not only that you never heard of or heard from in a long time, but people were always trying to ask for favors or ask for money or ask for this, that. Did you get all that? Because I remember when Ken Jennings, the guy from Jeopardy, who won all those rounds at Jeopardy, they asked him, he's like, how's it feel to, be the highest winning player in Jeopardy history? He goes, it feels great. I got all these family members I'd never heard of before. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden.
I feel like Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones. Back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me.
They all on me.
That's the way I feel, man. I feel like Mike Jones, and that's what Facebook would be like, man. Back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. It ain't going down like that. The same one just be in the club, see me in the parking lot, they want to get with me. You know what I mean? It's a different game now. It's a totally different game. And man, you got to be on your P's and Q's because, man, I watch a lot of this Dateline Secrets Uncovered. Okay.
Oh, what is this?
It's a show that comes on, one of these crime stories. And I was watching one earlier today where this lady actually married the guy and, got insurance on him, ended up poisoning him and, killing him. And she ended up getting caught. But man, you don't know who you sleeping with sometimes. I was watching another episode where a guy got involved with a young lady, and he was involved with her for 3 weeks. And she was so jealous, she put a bullet in his head when he was asleep. So you just don't know who you're dealing with sometimes these days. So you gotta investigate, man. You gotta investigate. Look at this Steve McNair. I was looking at that episode where, boom, he think he got a little honey on the side. And next thing you know, boom, she put a bullet in his head and one in hers and left roses to celebrate it. It was crazy, So, man, you got to be careful who you dating out there these days, especially with this these dating apps. I was just looking at on a commercial the other day. It's scandalous when you got a dating app that disappear as soon as you use it. I'm serious.
Isn't that what's the name of that one where they say it's made to be deleted? Is
Yeah,
that the one you're talking about?
it just deletes as soon as you use it. You know what I mean? As
Yeah.
soon as you get the hookup, you know what I mean?
Go on.
All the information goes away, so the wife or the girlfriend can find. That's the only reason they would have something like that. Am I right or wrong?
I mean, if you follow the logic, that would make the most sense.
That's the only reason you would have an app that disappears once you use it, because damn it, if it worked, I'm gonna use it again and again and again, as many times as I possibly can. Damn it, I'm not gonna want it to delete. So for something like that, man, it just goes to show you where we are in the world today. A hookup could be a death sentence these days. So you got to be real careful, man. Craigslist killer, you know. I mean, come on, getting massages online. Next thing you know, he's robbing women. Next thing you know, he killed a couple of them. You know, you just don't know who you're dealing with when you go into these sites. So you got to be very, 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 very careful.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that there's something really a message out there for the young people. But before we leave for the break, we do have our very first
super chat
of the show, and it's from Stellar Justin Lopez 2.0. Stellar Justin Lopez, a regular. We found each other on social media on Twitter. So what's up, Justin? He said Booker and myself manifested the Hurt Business Reformation. But Book, thank you for putting me over last week. It was appreciated, brother. I'll be flying to Houston for a roast show in the near future. Make sure you let us know when you're going to be in town. Stellar Justin Lopez 2.0. But the Hurt Business did come back.
Hey, man.
And what'd you text me?
I said Stellar Justin Lopez had it right on the money.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's true, man. A lot of people right now, they even upset because the Hurt Business back together. They was upset because the Hurt Business broke up. So you never know what fans want. But me personally, I'm glad to see the Hurt Business back together doing their thing. Stellar Justin Lopez, I think you manifested it more than I did. You hit it right on the money. I just was one of those guys that I just didn't understand why, the breakup of the Hurt Business, ever happened. And to have it back, I'm not going to even question it. I'm saying, hey, go with it. Let's see exactly how this thing play out. Can't wait to MVP make his return back to the Hurt Business. And then we'll see exactly where this thing goes.
Well, I want to ask you more about the Hurt Business. We got to take a quick break, but I want to ask you about MVP. I want to ask you about the future of this, if there is one.
Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Independent wrestling is full of charismatic persona, incredible athleticism,
Shooting star, press from pressure cover,
and at times, complete chaos.
got that attention, don't do it, Will. Oh my gosh, senton bomb through the table.
This is where the young guys, the young girls come today to pay their dues, to learn the craft, to start the journey to become the next wrestling superstar. I'm WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and these are the Indies. Can you dig it, sucker?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Talking a little wrestling. But you said you had something you want to talk about as far as the Hurt Business.
So we see, for those of you who didn't watch Monday Night Raw last week, there was a big WWE Championship match, Bobby Lashley, Big E, and then during the match that was kicking off Raw, New Day gets involved, and then the Hurt Business gets involved, right? And we saw Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander back together wearing the black and gold. Hurt Business is back, right? That sets up this steel cage main event for later in the evening. But here's my question. Was that just a one-off? Like, was that the only time we're going to see them back together just so they could do the real quick feud and reunion with New Day? Because now New Day, because of the draft, and I'm sure we'll talk about the draft in a little bit, but New Day, because of the draft, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston back on SmackDown, Big E remains on Raw. So New Day, after they were reformed, they've been broken up again.
Thank God.
And so now, see, these are the comments that get you in trouble with the internet. So now I'm thinking, well, if there's no more feud with Bobby or the Hurt Business, I mean, are we going to see them back, or was that just a one-time thing? Hurt Business.
No, I don't think it was a one-time thing. I heard some things brewing as far as this Hurt Business reunion. Didn't want to let anything out of the bag or anything. Wasn't sure if it was going to actually come to fruition, but it did. I think even without New Day or anybody involved, I think the Hurt Business has a run just because they're a faction. Factions don't necessarily have to have one person to feud with. I don't think. I think with Bobby being that headliner as far as the Hurt Business going, you got Shelton and Cedric from a tag team perspective. Those guys could easily go out there and work singles matches as well. So it's so much to be done, with the Hurt Business. At the end of the day, I think it's about the group presenting something totally different than had ever been seen before, which is 4 black guys, very, very intelligent, doing it a totally different way, looking the part and playing the part all the way to the hilt. So I think that's what the allure of the Hurt Business for me, as a black man watching these guys do their thing. It was just different than anything that I had seen in the business.
Yeah, I think that the Hurt Business coming back would be great, and I'm if they're going to continue forward, I love it. I just felt like it was hey, this would be a cool moment, and then we move on from it. But if Envy's coming back, I don't know. Do you know how long Envy's out for?
I don't know. From what I'm hearing, he talking about he ready to get back to work right now. I'm serious.
That's when you get used to that road life, and you're like, I don't want to be home.
That's that paycheck, man. Give them extra dollars, man. Making these extra towns with WWE has always been an opportunity, man, to make as much money as you want, but you got to be able, willing, and ready to go at a moment's notice, man. You got to keep your stethoscope on at all times, and in your white coat, man, because somebody might be calling you.
They might be. You never know with RBT. But I still think that there's space for the Hurt Business, especially if they shake up the tag division, which I'm hoping that they do a little bit more of this time around in the draft, because we saw New Day go to SmackDown. The rumor is that we're going to see Street Profits on Raw. Street Profits versus Hurt Business. That'd be a nice little feud going for a while.
It's been a rumor about the Street Profits also breaking up.
I've heard that too. Do you think that? I think that'd be too early. I think they still have some more work to do.
Everybody is really high on Montez doing singles wrestling. Man, the guy he's very, very talented. But I don't know if they're ready actually for a breakup. I don't think they been together long enough to actually break up and make a impact from both sides. Because Angie gonna be looking for a spot too if they were to break up. And I think together they're better for Angie more so than Montez Ford. But the thing is also, you put Montez out there, he's in a sink or swim situation. Okay. He's going to have to go out there and he's going to have to deliver from a singles perspective. And the thing is, you never know what's going to happen until you put in that position.
Oh, absolutely. I think that could he pull it off? Does he have the charisma? Does he have the talent? Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like there's more, though, for the Street Profits to do. Like, I feel like right now, if they broke up, I think that we might mention them down the road, but they're not in the conversation for me right now as one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
No, I don't think
they're not even sniffing the top 25.
I don't think we ever mentioned Street Profits ever again if they would have split up now.
That's my point. So I think that you got lightning in a bottle with Montez Ford, but let it cook for a little while longer. They've had a couple tag runs. They've had some memorable feuds. They've had the feud with the Viking Experience. They've feuded with the Usos, things of that nature. I think that there's just so much more that they can do, and maybe Raw will be a good place for them to get some of that work done, because I could see them having a great feud with Hurt Business.
Yeah, I could too. I don't know. I love Street Profits, but I don't know. Maybe they're missing something. Maybe a manager is something. Is something missing for Street Profits to actually really make a huge impact? I don't know what it is, but for me, I know I was in that same position with my brother as Harlem Heat. We were good, but until we got that spark and the rub from Sherry Martell, I don't ever think we would have been as big as we got if it wasn't for that. And sometimes you need that extra little bit of a push to actually, become, something special.
Do you think when they were putting Street Profits with Bianca Belair, remember they had them all kind of teamed up for a minute because there's obvious connection there with Montez and Bianca are married. Did you like that package, or do you think that they should stay away from that? Let Bianca stand on her own. Maybe we can find somebody else to put with Street Profits from just adding to the group. Because you know how Lita was kind of the manager of the Hardy Boys, but she really wasn't the manager of the Hardy Boys. She was she just added to it.
Did she make that group so much better though? Did she make
10 times better? Yes.
Exactly my point. Yeah. I don't know as far as the Bianca Belair thing, because Bianca Belair, she's talent. She's got to be able to float on her own in order to, become, mega successful in that division. She got to be concentrating on keeping the eye on the prize from a perspective from psychology going out, and she does that very, very well. She's a great tactician in the ring as far as making the fans feel a certain way. I don't see it being her, but I just think somebody could actually help Street Profit break through that glass ceiling and become more than just a tag team.
Yeah, I think that you're right. There's something that needs to be there. We have a couple super chats real quick. One talking about Montez. Let's get to that right now.
Super chat
from Stellar again. Justin Lopez 2.0. Montez could be IC champ right now if they go singles. He still needs to get built up a little bit more, though, to get to that next level. So yeah, Justin Lopez kind of saying he could be upper mid, but I think that you're just benefiting so much more from being in a tag right now.
Yeah, and then, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and just say put the belt on Montez Ford just because I like him or anything like that. I think putting a single title on Montez right now, I just don't think it would help him. All right,
yeah.
because my thing is, when you get put in that position, you're the general all the time. Okay, when something goes wrong, crap rolls downhill all over you. Trust me. And I just don't. Is he capable of doing it? I'm sure he is. But for me, I know it took me a long time to get to that point to where I felt comfortable enough to be in that position to where I said, "Hey, I'm ready for the ball. Not just ready for the ball. I'm ready to score with it. I'm ready to score with it every time. If some heat roll down, I'm willing to take it." It took me a long time before I was able to handle being in that position as well as accepting those responsibilities. And I just say, I don't know if I'm not going to say I don't know if he's ready for that or not, but me personally, I would want him to actually have a little bit more experience, tag team. Division running from that perspective, just to be ready, like a quarterback, sitting back, like Justin Fields, they say, man, sit back and watch, like Tom Brady sit back and watch for a while. Once he got in the game, he was ready to go.
Yeah, I think that you're right from that perspective, and there's just so much more that you can learn in a tag situation, feuding with all kinds of different guys. Because what better way to get you coached up? Like, okay, say we're going against Hurt Business and the Street Profits. You say they put Shelton and Bobby together as the tag team to go against them. How much can you learn if you're Montez Ford wrestling Shelton and Bobby in that tag situation, right? I mean, they can just help you get to that next level. Those are two guys who've been there, done that. Bobby just coming off the best run of his career. Getting to mix it up with people like that only makes you stronger.
And the thing is, I hate to compare myself like to guys like that. But it's the only reference I have to, to go to. Me being with my brother, we were tag team for like 9 years together before I broke up. We broke up and I became a singles. So we had went around the world. We had, had that worldly experience. We had that grizzle knowledge of wrestling just in general. And then when I became a singles wrestler, I was like brand new all over again. And Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, those guys been together, 3 years, 4 years?
Something like that, yeah.
And they haven't had any really worldly experience other than being inside the WWE, doing it there. So I think being together will benefit those guys just a little bit longer.
Just a little bit longer. We got to take a break, though, Book.
Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows.
From on top, 1-2 moonsault.
Where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up.
Complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. Two more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I thought you said we had another super chat.
We do. We have another
Super chat
from Roland
Mike
Curtis.
Jones.
He says, speaking of Mike Jones, back then they didn't want me. Do you guys hear the classic Houston Mike Jones still tipping violin riff in the new NXT 2.0 intro theme? The full 4-minute track is fire. Yeah, so the intro theme is a song called Down South with Wale and Maxo Cream.
Right.
And they sample the do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, the still tipping thing. It's in there. Yeah, it's in there. It's a little H-Town.
Look here, man. Mike Jones was hot.
For a minute.
He was hot. I don't know what happened, but the brother was hot for a minute. You know what? Maybe it was him saying his damn name in every song.
It got a little old, but I think that Mike was really the only guy actually from Houston who, after that little wave, didn't ever really get back in it, right? Slim Thug's always kind of been consistent. Paul Wall
kind of fell off.
Chameleon fell off, but he went off to Silicon Valley, made him some millions out there. You know what I mean? But Mike, fell off pretty hard, but he also went double platinum. Like his album, Mike Jones went double. Who is Mike Jones? Went double platinum, 2 million copies. And here's the other thing. But here's the thing. This is how you know it's bad. And I got love for Mike, but his gimmick went from "Who is Mike Jones" to then I saw him on Twitter, and the new thing he started saying is, "Where is Mike Jones?" Things got bad for Mike. First, I didn't know who he was. Now they can't find him.
Oh, man. It's crazy, man.
Where is he? I don't know. I can't find him. Hey, speaking though of great hip hop tracks, talk to me. The nominations for this year's Latin Grammys came out.
Yeah, man.
And Bad Bunny, a friend of wrestling, made his WrestleMania debut earlier this year. Had several nominations, including for Best Rap Song for the song Booker T. That's right, Booker T. The song is nominated for a Grammy, which by proxy, Booker, you by proxy are nominated for a Grammy. How's it feel?
It's nuts. It really is. Just go to show how that song was really, really popular with the community, man. I mean, a lot of people really love the song. I was listening to it just a couple of days ago, and I was like, man, this is amazing. When I heard about the Grammy nomination, I was like, listen to this again, man, because maybe I missed something. You know what I mean? But when it come on, it just immediately puts you in a mood where if you're in a club, you vibing, you know. And the thing is, you could be in a club where it's nothing but Americans speaking people, and that song come on, you still gonna start vibing. You don't have to know none of the words, and you still gonna start vibing. So I was like, man, this is what we call universal. It's crossover. It's something that you feel more than anything, and that's what the brother captured with the song. So there again, I'm humbled to be a part of something like that. I will be in Vegas for the Latin Grammys that week as well, because Reality Wrestling may have some big news. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be awesome to win that award and get on stage with Bad Bunny and boom, pump the fist just one time. We did it, baby.
Man, that'd be nuts. That'd be crazy. The song is great. Just the beat to it makes you move no matter what. And by the way, speaking of that, we were talking about groups. We were talking about hip hop and the influence that it has on wrestling. You know, NXT 2.0, Bad Bunny doing the Booker T song. Hit Row drafted right during the WWE draft. Hit Row has been drafted to SmackDown, I do believe. They're going to be on that SmackDown brand. Hit Row is somebody who I heard, like, again, I wasn't watching NXT regularly. And then I think you told me about Hit Row. And I said, let me go check them out. And that's a great package. And I hope that it stays similar to what the presentation is for NXT, because they've got money right there.
Yeah, Top Dollar said he's going to be doing all unscripted promos. So I'm going to tell you, these guys, they're going to bring something so new to SmackDown. It's going to be something like we call must-see TV. I'm serious. These guys are really that good. I'm not just blowing smoke up these guys behind or anything like that. But I watch their act when they come out. They believe in what they're doing. And then the music is hot. Top Dollar is really no joke as far as the music thing goes. As well as he's an athlete. This guy's a former football player. He's an athlete, and the world is going to get a chance to see that group and do something really, really special. But that kid Swerve, there again, I didn't know how good this kid was until he was a part of something where he was able to shine, and that is the Hit Row. These guys are something special. Give them the ball and let them run. You talk about a faction that can go down as far as this generation, the millennials and what they really, really like. These guys can go down as, man, one of the most popular groups ever formed if done right. And I'm not just saying that. I'm talking about what these young guys like today. These guys are it. Just let them run. Give them the ball.
I agree. And sometimes you can just see something and you know, hey, we've already got it. We don't need to switch anything, right? We don't need to change up the music. We don't need to change up the appearance. We don't need to change the act at all. Just put that on TV and that will get over, and that will make you money for years to come, right? For years to come. And believe these guys can do the job that you assign to them. That's even my thing with the scripted promos is if Top Dollar says, look, I'm not gonna read anything that's scripted, I think that's great. You know what? I really do. I think it's great. I remember Bruce Pritchard when he was working with us at Reality Wrestling. They he said that Triple H and Rock were in this feud with each other on Raw, and Rock would always go off script, and Triple H would try to stay it. And then he went to Bruce and said, look, man, what am I supposed to do out there? I'm trying to stick to the script. Your Rock keeps going off script. And Bruce said, if you can take the heat, it's live. I can't tell you what to say out there. I can suggest it, but if you can take the heat, go out there and do what you want. And I think I'm not obviously not in that position. So who am I to tell somebody to take a risk? But if you believe in your stuff that much and you know it's going to get over, go out and do it.
No, not just that, man. You trying to, just like right now, golf is trying to be more diverse. Trying to get more people of color to watch the game. Tiger Woods did a hell of a job getting the brothers to show up. Tiger's gone now, so they got to change the marketing strategy. Marketing strategy to get young blacks to watch the program is you put somebody out there like Top Dollar in the hit row and let these guys go out there and do their thing, and then you have someone young kid that look like me watching the show. I go, man, I want to be a part of this because there again, I always said in my neighborhood, wrestling wasn't our way out, but rap, music, all of that right there, we was all into it. Dance,
right?
And the hit row got a little bit of all that, and they wrestle. You know what I mean? So they got the full package for some young kid that looked like them. To say, man, I want to do this one day. I want to be a part of this. And the hit row could be the spark that that light the world on fire. Seriously.
Well, real quick, we have a couple super chats that are coming in I want to get to before they disappear. This is from
Super Chat.
the real Giannis. So not Antetokounmpo, the real boy right here, the real Giannis. I want to know hypothetically if Bray could join AEW or Impact, which one would benefit or be more beneficial to his career? No pressure on Book to answer, but Brad, what do you think? I don't think you mind answering this one either, Book. I think AEW right now is just the place to be if you want to feel competitive and have those juices flowing and have a great roster of talent. I'm not saying that Impact or Ring of Honor, though those places don't have that, or Reality Wrestling for that matter. But AEW's got a feel to it right now, and I think Bray would be attracted to that.
Yeah, I don't think Impact would do anything for Bray Wyatt's career. I hear Braun Strowman may be inquiring over at Impact, or at least they're talking about him, trying to get a buzz out there. But it's nobody really talking about Impact as far as being a company that's having any real impact right now. Yeah, I'm just saying. I really don't know what's going on in Impact right now, and it's because of their distribution. Where are they being seen? They're on Access TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to even know what's going on over there. Every time I've tried to watch a Impact show right now, I think they're still doing dark matches. I think they're still doing dark arenas, no fans. They're literally getting left behind and almost getting lost in the shuffle. Because right now, I think more people are talking about reality of wrestling than talking about Impact. And I'm not just trying to be funny or anything right now, but as far as putting talent out there, guys getting jobs, guys getting looked at, people winning championships like Roxy. I think right now people are talking about reality of wrestling just as much as they're talking about Impact. So I think AEW would be a great spot for both of those guys to land. The question is going to be, is Tony Khan checkbook getting a little full? That's going to be the question at the end of the day when it comes to signing guys like that, because he's got Punk now, got Daniel Bryan. Those were two big signings. I don't know how much money those guys got paid, but the question is going to be going forward. Does Tony Khan, is his checkbook, big enough? And the thing is, somebody's going to say, man, talk about Tony Khan's checkbook's big enough. I'm not talking about if the guy could, got boatloads of money. I'm talking about straightening himself with the company that's, perhaps right now beginning to start making some money and then you go and sign some more big name guys where we got to work even harder to start making a profit all over again. That's what I'm talking about. Is Tony Khan willing to do that? Perhaps. Yes, but we'll find out. Guys, we got to take a quick break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Hey, man, there again, do Tony Khan got enough money to sign every guy in the wrestling business? Probably. But like I say, when you run a business, you got to be strategic. Would AEW benefit, guys like Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman? Of course they would. But there again, Bray Wyatt may be one of those guys that, want to go and repackage himself, go to Japan, do the Japan run. Then again, he may not. I've said it once, I said 1,000 times. If you can get a job here in the States, you're going to get it because traveling that loop in Japan is not easy. Getting on those buses and going from town to town, it's not easy. I remember MVP when he was, out there floating around. It was still in WWE at that time. He was like, man, I want to do the Japan thing, man. I want to do that, at least one time before my career is over with. And then he finally, left WWE and he got in with New Japan Wrestling. And I remember talking to MVP and I say, bro, look, going to Japan at 35 is a whole lot different than going at 25. Okay. I say, I'm serious. And I say, you're not going to understand that until the run is over. And then when it was over it lasted for what, a year, 2 years, maybe, whatever it was. And I don't think MVP has talked about ever going back to Japan.
Once was enough for him.
I'm serious, man, because those trips, those tours, that's what we call them, tours, those tours to Japan, they're really like going to Iraq or Vietnam. It's rough, bro. Yeah. And your ass is working, 4 days out of the week. You're bumping. You're working in. Then again, I don't know how the arenas are now, but back in the day, if it was wintertime, it was no heat, and in the summertime, it was no air, unless you was in the Tokyo Dome or somewhere like that. Other little small arenas, your ass is going to suffer. You might get a nice fat envelope when you're getting ready to leave, $100 bills. Chris,
made it all worth it.
He said it makes it feel a little bit softer on the landing. But let me tell you, bro, it's not an easy deal at all.
Well, you know what? We'll see if MV ever wants to make that tour again of Japan. But we have another.
Just super chat.
Hell no. Vitamin Vision TV on the subject of music. Booker T, you had a song on the WWE Originals album. How was that experience, and did you ever want to take music further?
Look, man, I always wanted to be in the music business. I always wanted to sing. In the shower, I'm damn good, man.
You're the man.
I'm like Shaq on that commercial. in the shower. I remember I did a rap show once at the Rhinestone Wrangler. Me and my boys, we got in the contest, and we didn't do well. We didn't do well. We didn't do well at all.
Was it? Did you have a different rap group name than the dance hall? Because you were the remote controls was the dance crew.
I don't even think we had a name that night. I just think we went by BT Festus and Z Boy, something like that. but back to the question. What was the question again?
Well, I mean, how was it doing the?
No, the song, the WWE experience, the rap song. You know, man, I've never really been off into rap music for myself personally as a professional wrestler. I never wanted to portray myself as one of the guys coming out with rap music because I never wanted to stereotype myself and alienate myself from the rest of the world, 3/4 of the world. I just didn't want to do that. I just wanted to make sure when I came out, music was playing and music that's going to make everybody jump and feel a certain way. And they go, man, they don't say, it's the black guy coming out or anything like that. They just said, man, that's all of heat. These dudes here, they're bad, man. And then when I, continue to, carry the music, man, everybody just said, man, that's Booker T. And that's the way I've always wanted to be looked at. I tell young guys, you got to strategize your way through your career. Otherwise, man, you could just find yourself like every one of the other guys in the locker room.
Yeah. By the way, Fightful Pro Wrestling, who's watching right now, let's talk about the samples in that Booker T theme, though. We talked about that before, where that comes from. Well, I don't think it's a family show, Fightful. All right, don't get us in trouble. All right, but I think Sean Rouse Sapp did a video on it, so y'all should go check that out, and you can hear where all the samples came from. I like the "Can You Dig It" song. I've told you this before. I like it. We should do a 2021 version.
No, you don't want to mess it up, bro. You don't want to. TNA, when I went there, they did a different version of it. They tried to, remix it. But I just don't think it's a song you really want to. Me personally, I don't want to mess with it. It ain't broke. Don't fix it.
No, I'm talking about the track you did on WWE Original.
Oh, no, look here, bro.
We should do the remix. Get you, Wale. We'll get the Hit Row guys on there.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a rapper, bro. I know
you could drop a couple of bars.
I know my limitations. Okay,
drop a couple of bars.
I know. I know exactly where I do well. And music, rap songs. I don't want to be like, Easy, where they was trying to teach him how to rap. You know what I mean? That ain't me, bro. I'm gonna let the Hit Row take care of that piece of business right there. Let those guys that do it well do it and do it big. So Hit Row, check them out each and every Friday night on SmackDown.
Check them out. Fightful, Sean, send me that video. Send me a link to that on Twitter so I can put that out there, the samples. Hey, here's the other thing I wanted to ask you about. We're talking about the WWE draft, okay? Roman Reigns remains on SmackDown. Big E now on Raw. But there's been a couple other changes. Charlotte Flair has been drafted to SmackDown. So is Drew McIntyre. Those are two, I think, big changes from going to Raw to SmackDown. Let's start with Drew. Do you think that benefits Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre came off of his pandemic run, winning the Royal Rumble, going to WrestleMania, winning the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar, and then defending it all throughout the no fans era, and then losing it to Bobby Lashley, or not losing it to Bobby Lashley, losing it to Miz, and then Bobby had his run after that. And then after Bobby became champion and they did the WrestleMania match together, Drew kind of fell off a little bit. Not fell off, but just was on more back burner, right? You didn't hear a lot from Drew. He was doing the thing with Jinder that some people liked, some people didn't, but it was kind of still a background feud. Do you think him going to SmackDown is better for him at this moment?
I think Fox is going to like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew
that's an interesting point.
No, I'm serious. I mean, that's why I'm looking at things. I always look at it from a business perspective. I don't give a damn about nothing else. Dollars and cents. Yeah, for Fox, that's like a big catch for them, man. Drew McIntyre, like you say, through the pandemic, he proved himself as far as being a soldier, a guy that's willing to push forward, through adversity. in literally times like we've never been in before. He still shined. So yeah, Drew's a big catch for SmackDown, and I think is it one of those things I talk about all the time as far as having an international guy on the show, which translate to international fans watching because they love Drew McIntyre. Yeah. Put the Scottish Warrior out there and let him do his thing on SmackDown, as well as Charlotte Flair. That's a huge grab for Fox as well, being on Friday nights. Charlotte Flair, as much as she brings to the table, she is the this generation's Ric Flair. Okay, that's the only way to really put it, because she wears that mantle and she wears it very, very well. So to have those two on SmackDown, it's huge. You know what? I was reading some stuff earlier, and I think the draft's still going on tonight. If the rumors are true, it may be the biggest catch out of this whole thing. And they're talking about Walter may be drafted to Monday Night Raw.
Oh, really?
If Walter is drafted to anywhere, SmackDown, Raw, anywhere over here in the States, it's going to be a big deal, because I said this dude is he's 100% what this business need. And I said, if we had 10 more Walters, man, this business would be in a great place. It really would. So to see if Walter makes that step over the pond since losing the NXT championship, NXT UK championship, this guy is prime time and ready to be seen here in the United States on a weekly basis.
I like Walter. I'd like to see him mix it up with some of the guys who are on that main roster. Honestly, though, if Walter goes to Raw, I'd be kind of upset, because I'd like to see Walter versus Drew. Talking about Drew, man, that would be a.
Think about this. People been talking. Who does Roman Reigns? Who's left? I'm gonna tell you, you throw somebody in there, a name like Walter, just walk in the door, unexpected entry, like Serge Nabray back in '72 Olympia. I'm gonna tell you right now, the people would go nuts, just like they did for Serge back in the day. He didn't win. Arnold still took the title, but it was a hell of an entry. Unexpected entry from France, Serge Nabray. We got to go to break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Speaking of wrestling, we got a big show going down Saturday night, Booker T World's Gym Arena, 10,000 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway. If you anywhere in the Houston and surrounding areas, Texas City, Texas, guys, come on out, have some fun. It's going to be a great night. Championships will be on the line. So, hey, just come have some fun. Think you'll like it.
Let's do it. Hey, by the way, saw something a couple days ago. I meant to text it to you.
What's that?
Rocky. We love the Rocky films, right? We love Sly Stallone, what he did in that role. A lot of people's favorite Rocky isn't Rocky 1 or 2, isn't 3, like that's my favorite. A lot of people love Rocky versus Drago, right? America versus Russia, when James Brown's in there. You got Apollo Creed dies in the ring. I must break you. You know, all the great montages from there.
Wait a minute. Was this some kind of a poll?
No. Well, no, everyone. It's kind of a universal thing that people mainly love Rocky for.
Well, I mean,
you know this. This is like kind of everyone accepts that that's the best. That's their favorite, not the best, but that's their favorite.
All right.
Yeah, it's not the best. I don't think it's the best, but it's not my favorite either. But I understand why people think that. Yeah. But I think it's one of Stallone's favorite because one night event in November, Sly Stallone went back to the cutting room floor. He got all the footage that he cut out of the original movie, and he recut Rocky IV. It's a brand new take of the movie, and it's coming out in theaters in November. It's called Rocky IV, Drago versus Rocky, the ultimate director's cut. How do you feel about this? The trailer came out. There's like a bunch of new scenes. They cut the robot out. The robot's no longer in the movie. They did a lot of differences. How do you feel about this?
You know, actually, I like it. I like it a lot. I think more movies could be done that way and really prosper because a friend of mine, his name's Adam Mock, is a publisher, and he had this book. It was called The Tree Book, and you and I we could be reading the same book, but if you put the book down, there's a book that you read online. If you put the book down at 11 o'clock at one point in the at one section of the book, and I put it down at 12 o'clock, when we picked it up, we'll be reading two different stories. And it made that just totally intriguing to me. Like, wow, that's really, really cool. For it to be able to branch off, you know, it's just like me playing the Ghost of Tsushima. I could play it one way, and you could play it a totally different way as far as getting to the finish and whatnot. And so for me, I love that. A movie like, Rocky, Rocky IV, Drago versus Rocky. I don't know how it's gonna play out, but I tell you what, it could be good just because I know with movies, they have you read scenes, over and over and over. They have you read stuff that they never play in the movie. They have people that, should have been in the movie that got cut out of the movie, stuff like that. So for me to actually see it a little bit different, as well as the technology that has grown from that then to now, as far as movies go, this could be really awesome.
I'm excited for it. I'm going to send you the trailer because I think that you'd appreciate it. Because I was going down the rabbit hole of Sly Stallone stuff, because you remember that movie he did with one of the Golden Girls where she was his mom. It was called like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot You or something like that.
I remember that. Yeah.
It was a terrible movie. Like, it was awful.
I didn't watch that one. Let's just say that. Yeah.
Well, it was an awful movie, and I was reading the only reason Stallone did it was, he and Arnold used to not like each other. Like legit, they used to have a beef. They had heat, and Arnold got the script and he read it. He goes, "This is a terrible movie." He goes, "But tell the publications that I'm interested in doing this movie, so that Stallone will want to do it." Right? So Arnold, said, "Yeah, Arnold's going to be attached to this movie," and Stallone's like, "Well, I want to do the movie." So Stallone ends up getting the part, and it was really a rib on him because Arnold knew it was going to be a terrible movie.
Arnold ribbed Stallone also when he dropped Bridget Nielsen off on him. That was a rib.
That's a good one.
That was a rib.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it fell for it. Glide and sink.
Good rib.
Oh man, I remember that movie Cobra. It sucked, but I tell you, Arnold hooked him up with her, man, and he took the bait, man. And I tell you what, I'm sure he suffered for that for quite some time.
Cobra was a rough watch. I always go back to that one.
I still like watching it because it was a movie that really sucked. But it sucked, but it was still kind of cool at the same time.
Well, the character he was a cool character. Cobretti.
And the bad guy was real cool.
That guy was cool.
And the thing is, come on now. Bridget Nielsen was hot as hell back in the day.
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
You would have fell for it. You would have fell for it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember her in Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Bro, that's what I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm telling you would have fell for it too. I mean,
For sure.
I know, Arnold got one over on Stallone, but any man could have fell for that right there. Seriously.
Any man would have fell for that one. I just always loved the scene in Cobra where and I think I've showed it to you before, where he goes into his apartment, he opens the pizza box, he takes the piece of pizza and he cuts it in half with scissors and then just eats it. I never understand. And he still got the shades on, still full leather jacket. I think he's even got gloves on or something.
I tell you, it was more shooting in that movie, man. More gunplay than I've ever seen. But like I say, still a classic. One of those classics.
Hey, we have a
super chat
here right now. This is from me, only me. Do you think AEW is on a WCW or a TNA level when it comes to competition with WWE? Since AEW got CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole on top of their other stars, is it safe to say WCW? It's like this is WCW competition to WWE now.
I would say it's bigger than TNA, but it's not quite WCW. Not just yet. They still got some. They still got some work to do. Not throwing any shade on AEW or anything like that. But WCW, I know we're in the pandemic right now. We're coming out of it. But WCW, they were an established company, not just here in the States, but worldwide. We went all over the place. We sold out arenas just about everywhere we went. And we were making some long green ducats working in that company. The atmosphere, I'm sure, is somewhat similar to what we had in WCW. And with more work, I'm sure they can get to that point. But it's going to take a lot of work. One thing you got to think about, you go back and you pull up the roster, the WCW roster back then. And we had a hell of a roster, man. We had nothing but mega stars on the roster. But the thing is, were those stars used properly? Hell no. You know what I mean? That's why we end up losing the war and the company got bought out. But at one point in time, man, we had a stacked roster, man, where if you was a fan, man, you had a smorgasbord to choose from as far as who you liked and who you wanted to come and support. WWE had that as well. Right now, AEW, they're building that. And maybe one day they can get to that point.
Yeah, I don't think they're at a WCW level yet, but to be honest with you, could they get there rather quickly? Sure. They have a great talent roster. There's no doubt about it. They're also developing some great young stars. I think that every time I see Jungle Boy work, he's better, right? Every time I see him work, he's better. Darby was somebody who I was almost on the opposite side of the spectrum for a long time. I'm like, I don't know this guy. And I even remember listening to Jericho. Jericho did a thing, and he's like, look, if this guy wants to work on the main event, he's not going to be doing any of that stuff with me, right? But Darby was able to grow. So if you can have that great mix of established names with developing this young talent, and that it's able to – because here's the thing. CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Christian, those guys aren't going to be wrestling forever, right? So you're going to need something after those guys leave.
Yeah.
You're going to need the Booker T's and the Bill Goldbergs and the Diamond Dallas Pages, the guys who are actually homegrown main event talent. You're going to need those guys. So I think that AEW has a great shot of being the biggest competition to WWE since WCW, but I don't think they're at that level just yet.
And like I say, I just think they got more growing pains. You got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. You got to run before you start jumping off the top rope. At least that's the way we look at it in reality wrestling. But I really think these guys are off on a great springboard right now. Talent is there. They're beginning to start booking this thing, wrestling perspective. I like everything those guys are doing over there, especially with the veteran faces showing up, like the Jake Roberts of the world, Orn Anderson's. I think Orn Anderson did a spine buster on somebody on the show. He
also was talking about blowing a cap in somebody. I don't know if you saw that. Everyone was calling him armed Anderson. I don't know what that was about.
So for me, man, that kind of nostalgia, it works. It works. So we'll see where they are in 5 years, and then we had that conversation all over again. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. What you got there?
No. We'll come back when we get back.
Stick around, guys. We'll be back in a minute.
And your question for the win. In The Insider, Al Pacino's character works on which TV show?
Is it 60 Minutes?
And your winner!
The Movie Trivia Schmodown, the most competitive movie trivia league in the world.
It's MMA or boxing. It's like you want to see the two best scrapping it out.
Vincent D'Onofrio.
2 points. Movie release date.
Wow.
Danny DeVito.
That's correct.
You mother! The rising sun! And your winner!
Championships, factions, the best in the world play here.
I'm ready to schmo down. Throw down with the schmo down.
Kevin Goodenough Smith!
This is why we play the Schmodown.
The professional sports league of movie trivia. This isn't bar trivia. This is the Movie Trivia Schmodown.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Man, the show's going quick, man. It's going quick today. I want to thank everybody in the chat. I want to thank everybody for the super chats as well. And we still got a few more minutes, man, to roll. But
and we have a few more super chats too. I did though. Before we get to these last two super chats, I wanted to ask you. You talked about WCW talent, and on this most recent episode of Dark Side of the Ring, they talked about Chris Kanyon, right? And Chris Kanyon, for those who don't know, wrestled as Mortis for a long time in WCW. Then he wrestled under the name Chris Kanyon for WCW and WWE for a short period of time. And tragically, left this earth too soon due to personal demons that he was having, right? He was gay and had issues with coming out to the boys about that. But I remember, every time I think of Kanyon, I think of Bash at the Beach 2000, because people forget that you wrestled Kanyon earlier that night, and then went on to win the world title against Jeff Jarrett in the same night. But talk to me about Chris Kanyon. What kind of a guy was he?
Man, Chris was a cool dude, man. And the thing is, I never knew about Chris's issues until after it was over with. I didn't know about the him being gay until he came out on the Howard Stern thing, I think. When we were working together, it wasn't anything that we ever spoke about. It wasn't anything that we ever thought about or anything. Like, we were just working. And if it was, if he would have came out back then, I think he would have been accepted by me. I think the wrestling world could be, pretty cruel sometime. And especially back then, the way wrestlers was looked at. But as far as personally, man, Chris and I, we always got along very well. In the ring, out of the ring, he was one of those guys who was, innovative from a perspective well before, so many guys were trying to think about trying to do so many different things, trying to come up with different moves. He was worse than Dallas Page as far as writing stuff down. But he was a student of the game. He was always about the match. Every time I worked with him, so I had nothing but high praise for Chris Kanyon, and to see him go out like that, to see the tragedy of the story actually play out as far as what he was really going through. Man, I feel for him. To the utmost, and I just wish I was one of the guys he could have talked to about it, because I really thought we were friends. And like I said, I'm just sad, more importantly, than anything about the whole thing. Yeah,
Chris Kanyon, again, I was like a WWF guy for the longest time, so I didn't really know a lot about Kanyon until later on, right? I mean, he had that short run in WWE for a while, but
he played a huge role in Ready to Rumble. He did all of the stunts for Jimmy the King.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did all of the stunts for the Jiminy King and Ready to Rumble. And no, man, it was awesome, man. He was an awesome dude. So every stunt you see and Ready to Rumble, it's Chris Canyon doing all of those stunts, man. So we were awesome compadres throughout our time, man. I miss him, man. I miss him a lot.
We got a couple super chats to get to. This is from Angry Duckling Institution.
Super chat.
Hi, Book. Your theme song is awesome. How did WCW come up with Harlem Heat's badass theme? Your theme is more street than Mark Henry's 3-6 Mafia theme, which is another. Well, here's the thing. Respect to Mark's 3-6 Mafia theme. That was a great song. Somebody go get their ass kicked.
You know what, man?
Somebody go get their wig split.
You know what? It was all right.
It was dope. No, I'm not going to let you besmirch the name.
Top 100, I put it at number 100. Let's just say that. But as far as Harlem Heat music, that song, they used to play that song on ESPN all the time back in the day before my brother and I ever came out to that music. And then when we were put together in WCW, we were looking for music, and they had an archive of music that we had to that we got a chance to pick from. And that music came through me and my brother, and we was like, man, that's it, man, that's dope. And from that day on, it was yes, that's just dope. You know what I mean? Woo. Yeah, and it just fit. It just fit, man. It was perfect music for Harlem Heat because when we came out, the fans felt like something was getting ready to happen just because man, that music, I get goosebumps just thinking about that music, man. I'm serious. It was badass. It was badass music. Seriously.
No, it's great. We have one more
super chat.
Who do you have, fellas, on Saturday? That's right. That's this Saturday. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, number 3 goes down. We were there for the last clash between these two heavyweight titans. What do you think's going to happen this Saturday, Book? We can talk about it a little bit, and we'll get more into it, I'm sure, later in the week.
Yeah, let's get into it just a little bit, man. Fury Wilder 2. No, let's go back to Fury Wilder 1 first. We can't go to 2 without 1. I don't know what Fury's thought process was in fight 1, but it definitely wasn't the same thought process he had in 2. He was passive. He was moving on his back foot. He got caught with some big shots. Easily, Deontay Wilder could have gotten a victory, or it could have went the other way because a lot of people thought Fury won the first fight as well. Second fight, Fury, totally different strategy, came in heavier, looking to dominate, press the fight, and went out there and did exactly what he said he was going to do, which was knock Deontay Wilder out. Now, Deontay Wilder, you and I, we were there. I watched Deontay Wilder in the first round, and I said, man, something just don't look right. He looked like he was blown up in the first round. I don't know if it was because of the big shots. I don't know if it was because of the big moment, the situation, and just getting caught up in the lights in Vegas. I don't know what it was, but he definitely did not fight a good fight. He was beat. It was a beating that, a heavyweight take, sometimes it takes, years off your career. And we wonder if Deontay Wilder can come back in a third fight with Fury and it be any different, me personally. I don't know. Fighters are known, change their spots and come in and look a totally different way. But he was beat convincingly. He was dominated. He was treated like a little boy in that fight. And I said, if Deontay Wilder did not come in, I don't know what he's weighing right now, but if Deontay Wilder does not come in at least 20 pounds heavier, the same result will happen. That's my opinion. I don't know what he's weighing in at right now, but if he doesn't come in at 250 pounds, he's going to be in trouble.
Remember, he would come in at some of those heavyweight fights at 209, 212, 220, no heavier than that. So we'll see if he put on some more muscle.
If he's not at least 240, he's going to have a whole. And the reason I say 240 pounds, 240 pounds is a real heavyweight. That's a true heavyweight. They say 220 is a true heavyweight. And Deontay Wilder's what, 6'7".
Massive, dude.
Deontay Wilder should be much heavier than 215, 212 pounds. He needs to be 240, 245 pounds at least to be able to deal with Tyson Fury on Saturday night. That's my opinion. Otherwise, the same thing will happen because there's no way he's going to advance his boxing skills that much over a period of 2 years. It's not going to happen.
I don't think so either. I think that Deontay Wilder, we know he's got the great equalizer, as has been his go-to since he really started his boxing career at this high level for the heavyweight title. I mean, remember we saw him against Luis King Kong Ortiz where he lost every single round except for he punched Luis Ortiz so hard in the forehead, he knocked his spirit out of his body, right? Yeah. Ortiz, I legitimately, I'm not even trying to use hyperbole, I don't think Ortiz knew where he was for about 30 seconds.
I saw his ghost, right?
Seriously.
Like, how about? I'm out of this.
I'm not doing this anymore.
You on your own.
So we know that he can do that. But if Tyson Fury is the aggressor again, as he was in the second fight, it's going to be hard for Deontay to load up with that right and really try to connect it flush enough to knock somebody like that out. And even if he does connect it, we've seen Tyson Fury stand right back up.
Yeah, we're gonna see exactly what's gonna happen. I'll be watching. I wish I was there, man. I was wishing I was gonna be back in action for this fight. But we didn't get a phone call. But hopefully for the next one, we'll see, man. We got to get through this pandemic era, man. We got to get through this pandemic era, man, so we can get back to business, man. I'm talking about there's money's to be made out there, dog. I'm talking about long green ducats. But is that it, man? We got to get out of here, man.
We got to get out of here.
Got to get out of here, man. We didn't even get a chance to talk about, the drop in the ratings with AEW. We're gonna be talking about that on Wednesday. We're gonna be talking about that on Wednesday because my question is, should anyone be worried as far as the ratings go these days? How important is the ratings from a WWE side as well as an AEW side right now? Let's delve inside of that and, unpeel the onion on Wednesday, but we'll talk about that. Want to thank everybody in the chat. Bradley, as always, we about this mug.
Can you dig it, you sucker?
Si tú y tus amigos ordenan de McDonald's juntos, deja que los demás agarren su comida primero. Yo sé, el solo pensar en el olor de las papitas y tener que esperar para meter tu mano en la caja y sacar unas suena loco. Pero por regla, si eres la última persona que sostiene la bolsa, entonces las papitas que se cayeron al fondo de la bolsa son tuyas. La paciencia paga, amigos. Para, pa, pa, pa.